But they're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us and
Bill Maher didn't just roast Meghan Markle, he set the entire stage on fire. One clip after another, he tore apart her authentic podcast, her strawberry jam stunt, her royal title drama, and even her emotional acting skills. The audience laughed so hard because every punch landed with painful truth. If Meghan built her brand on being misunderstood, what happens when the whole world finally understands her a little too well? The podcast interview that looked like a paid advertisement.
And edits for the podcast and being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Yeah.
Those are all jobs.
Yeah,
Meghan Markle's return to the media spotlight was clearly designed to show a softer, more authentic version of herself. But the result was the complete opposite. She claimed she was going makeup-free, but every viewer could see the reality. Her skin was flawless, her hair perfectly styled, and the lighting was so carefully crafted that even Hollywood stars would be jealous. That isn't raw or real. That is professional glam masked as vulnerability. Then there was the host, Jamie Kern-Lima. Instead of asking challenging questions or allowing Meghan's words to speak for themselves, she turned the interview into a full-on Meghan appreciation session. Compliments poured in nonstop. Meghan's eyes, Meghan's heart, Meghan's beauty, Meghan's perfection. It felt like a cheerleading performance disguised as journalism. Viewers didn't learn anything new about Meghan. They were just told, repeatedly, to adore her.
Have you been hanging out with Meghan and Harry since
No.
they've been in California?
no, I don't know them.
Bill Maher couldn't resist. On his show, he joked that the whole thing looked like a Hollywood infomercial where someone pops in at the end saying, "Bye now." He said Meghan wasn't opening up about her life. She was marketing her life. Whenever she brought up how hard her journey has been, audiences cringed. Many wondered how someone living in a California mansion with full staff could seriously preach about struggle. Hard work means waking up at 6 a.m. and standing on your feet for hours to earn a paycheck, not sipping green juice while promoting a podcast. Maher summed it up perfectly. Meghan is stuck between two worlds. She was an actress who became a princess, and now she's trying to go back to being an actress while still pretending to live the royal fairy tale. Instead of showing honesty, she acted like she was auditioning for a new role. That desperate need for approval, wrapped in staged vulnerability, is exactly what makes people doubt every word she says. The strawberry jam saga, fake scarcity, fake authenticity.
Talk about Meghan Markle, because she's in the Sun today, pausing her jam firm in case it gets annoying. Apparently, some kind of reality has set in, Angela.
As if the podcast wasn't enough, Meghan tried another stunt to boost her new brand, homemade strawberry jam. She posted a few pictures online, and within minutes, the headlines read, "Sold out." It looked like Meghan was launching a powerhouse product line. Fans were supposed to believe everyone was dying to taste royal jam made with love in Montecito. Then the truth came out. The reason it sold out so fast was because only a handful of jars existed. It wasn't a massive success. It was strategic. Scarcity. A PR trick. The brand wasn't taking over the world. It was barely taking over one shelf. Maher pounced again, laughing at the idea that Meghan is suddenly a domestic queen, stirring jams in her designer kitchen. He reminded the audience that Meghan doesn't even organize her own closet. She has assistants to do everything for her. So who exactly is boiling strawberries and sealing jars? Definitely not the Duchess of Montecito. Meghan wants the credit for effort she didn't put in. She calls it entrepreneurship. Maher calls it another attempt to look relatable.
It's been a disaster, actually, but she keeps calling herself a businesswoman, and she hasn't, because it's all fallen down.
This is where she loses people. Real authenticity comes from doing the work. Meghan hires a team, slaps her name and a royal title on the product, and calls herself a lifestyle guru. Meanwhile, regular moms are packing lunches, juggling jobs, and doing actual DIY projects without bragging about it on Netflix. Maher's audience laughed because they know what she doesn't. The more Meghan tries to seem like one of us, the more obvious it becomes that she's living in a completely different universe. She doesn't want to be normal. She wants to look normal while still being treated like royalty. That constant image management is exhausting to watch. Fake scarcity, fake authenticity, and a whole lot of branding. That strawberry jam wasn't a business launch. It was another performance in Meghan Markle's ongoing reality show, and Bill Maher just told the world exactly why no one is buying it, literally or figuratively. Royal titles, she quit the crown. But still prints HRH on gift cards.
The Queen had written, confirming that in stepping away from the work of the royal family, it's not possible to continue with the responsibilities and duties that come with a life of public service.
When Meghan and Harry stepped away from royal duties, the deal was simple. You leave the job, you leave the perks. That included using the titles His, Her Royal Highness for branding or profit. Yet here we are, jars of jam and gift cards stamped with HRH the Duchess of Sussex, as if nothing ever changed. This is where Bill Maher absolutely lost it. He pointed out how absurd it is to quit the monarchy, move to California, sign a Netflix deal, and then still want the royal glitter on the merchandise. You cannot walk away from the palace and still sell yourself as if you are sitting on the throne. Maher laughed hard at the hypocrisy. He compared it to someone quitting their company, but still demanding to keep the corporate credit card. Meghan has spent years insisting that the royal life was too restrictive and too painful, that she wanted freedom and independence. Yet her brand identity is still glued to that title she says nearly destroyed her mental health. She hates the monarchy, unless it helps sales. She hates the royal spotlight, unless the spotlight is on her. And the audience isn't blind. Polls in the UK show an overwhelming number of people want King Charles to strip Meghan and Harry of every remaining title. To most Brits, it feels wrong. You cannot claim victimhood while still enjoying royal benefits. You cannot argue the monarchy is archaic and oppressive, while marketing yourself as royal luxury. Meghan wants out, but not all the way out. She wants the fairy tale without the responsibilities. Bill Maher cut right to the truth. He joked that the only real billion-dollar idea Meghan ever had was marrying a prince. Not acting, not podcasting, not lifestyle products. Harry was the golden ticket. That line hit harder because it's exactly what critics have been saying for years. Meghan's success is tied to a crown she claims to hate. It's the mixed messaging that drives people crazy. Time magazine controversy.
Listed herself as a founder, innovator, creator. How are you? Thank you for asking that.
Philanthropist.
Entrepreneur. Sure.
Then came one of the strangest moments in Meghan's public journey, her appearance on Time magazine's list of the world's most influential women. You'd think the title would spark celebration, but the reaction across the internet was pure confusion. Influential how? Influential for what? More scandals? More drama? Even many fans couldn't explain the reasoning behind that honor. Bill Maher didn't tiptoe around it. He immediately mocked the selection as a complete joke. He compared it to Katy Perry claiming she's an astronaut. Funny, blunt, and pretty accurate. When people think of global influence, they think of game changers, leaders, innovators. Meghan, meanwhile, has been bouncing from a failed Netflix show to a canceled Spotify deal to a jam brand that barely existed. Influence shouldn't mean trending for the wrong reasons. Maher pointed out that most of Meghan's headlines revolve around conflicts and complaints. She says she wants privacy, but constantly does interviews. She says she wants reconciliation with her family, but keeps blaming them on television. She says she wants to empower women, but spends most of her time reminding the world that she is the victim in her own story. Is that the kind of influence Time wanted to celebrate? Critics online echoed Maher's take. Many said it felt like Time cared more about Meghan's ability to generate attention than her ability to inspire change. If being controversial or constantly in the news equals influence, then sure, Meghan fits the list perfectly. But that isn't the kind of influence most people admire. Meghan's public image has shifted from inspiring to exhausting. Maher's audience laughed because they understand what Meghan doesn't seem to grasp. Respect isn't earned through PR. Influence doesn't come from magazine placements. You cannot force the world to see you as important. It happens when your actions genuinely move people. Maher ended his rant on a simple truth. Meghan once had the power to inspire millions. Her royal wedding was watched by the whole planet. People wanted to believe in a modern, fresh royal love story. What happened instead was a never-ending performance, Harry's TV meltdown, sympathy gone wrong. Prince Harry stepped back into the spotlight recently with an emotional interview where he spoke about King Charles's cancer battle. Instead of coming across as a caring son, the moment felt uncomfortable and strangely promotional. Harry said he didn't know how much longer his father had, which shocked everyone. That is not something most people would reveal on live television. It felt like he turned one of the most private and heartbreaking family struggles into a media bullet point. Bill Maher couldn't ignore the hypocrisy. Harry claims he wants reconciliation and peace with the royal family, yet every time he gets a camera in front of him, he brings up old wounds and blames the palace for everything wrong in his life. Maher joked that trying to make up with someone while attacking them on TV makes zero sense. You cannot fix a broken relationship by adding more fuel to the fire. Insiders say the palace is terrified to speak to Harry at this point. They believe any private conversation could appear on Netflix, in another book, or as a podcast episode. It has become less like a family and more like a reality show where every moment is content. Harry and Meghan are seen as using real-life illness and family issues to boost their brand story. Sympathy has turned into a marketing tool. That is where the public's patience runs out. The wedding revisited. A red carpet event, not a royal ceremony. Bill Maher also brought up one of the most telling moments in the entire Meghan and Harry saga, their wedding. On the surface, it looked magical, a fairy tale event watched by millions. But behind those cameras was chaos, resentment, and Hollywood-style guest politics that still embarrass the palace today. Insiders complained that Meghan treated the event like a movie premiere. Celebrities such as Oprah and the Clooneys sat in prime positions, while loyal royal staff and long-serving family members were pushed to the back like extras. Some guests joked they barely knew the newlyweds, but got better seats than actual royals. Then there was the weather. People baked under brutal heat in stiff outfits, clutching fans like survival gear. And the food? Tiny finger bites that looked more like an influencer brunch than a royal feast. Guests left hungry, annoyed, and confused by how a monarchy wedding could feel like a Pinterest mood board. Harry also spent much of his time glaring at photographers, intentionally blocking shots and making it impossible to capture history. Maher called it a wedding that hated being photographed, which defeats the whole point of a royal event meant to be shared with the world. Fake tears, bad acting, Hollywood critics. Join the roast. Meghan has always insisted she is emotional, misunderstood, and constantly battling invisible pain. In her interviews and podcast appearances, she often pauses dramatically, puts her hand on her heart, and claims she is so overwhelmed by everything she has endured. The problem is, every time she delivers one of those teary speeches, the cameras zoom in and expose something awkward. Her eyes are completely dry. There are no tears, not a single drop. It starts to feel less like heartbreak and more like rehearsal. Bill Maher couldn't resist poking fun at that. He said watching Meghan's emotional moments is like watching a bad soap opera scene where the actress forgot to use the eye drops. Then the internet discovered an old clip where Meghan proudly bragged she could cry on command. That clip exploded online because it lined up perfectly with what viewers were already thinking. If you can cry whenever you want, how can anyone trust when you're doing it for real? Hollywood critics and body language experts quickly jumped in. They began analyzing her posture, her forced sniffles, and her dramatic pauses. Many said the same thing. Nothing looked natural. The expressions didn't match the words. Her voice quivered, but her face didn't. You could almost see her searching for the right facial expression instead of expressing genuine emotion. Toxic boss. Rumors workers leave in tears. Behind the scenes, Meghan's image gets even messier. Former palace staff have described working for her as emotionally exhausting. Employees confessed to crying at their desks and quitting in tears because of how harsh and demanding she was. Those stories weren't small rumors. Multiple staff members spoke up, saying Meghan ruled like a diva, not a duchess. And it didn't stop when she left the royal family. Reports from her new wellness company suggest the exact same pattern. Employees claim they cannot keep up with her impossible expectations and unpredictable moods. Meghan promotes kindness and empowerment publicly, but behind closed doors, she can allegedly be cold, dismissive, and difficult. Bill Maher roasted that contradiction. He said Meghan has built a career on presenting herself as the poor, mistreated outsider who just wants to be loved. Yet at the same time, she treats the people working for her like disposable props in her personal production. The message she sends to the world is, I am the victim, but insiders say she is often the one causing the hurt. The irony is painful. Meghan preaches compassion through podcasts and public speeches, yet the people standing closest to her seem to run away shaking. Maher joked that maybe the reason she has to constantly rebrand herself is because no team sticks around long enough to help. When someone's story is, everyone is against me, eventually people start wondering if the problem isn't everyone else. Meghan's former staff didn't sign up for royal drama or Hollywood pressure. They signed up to help a duchess and found themselves working for a brand obsessed with perfection. Lawsuits, flop brands, and title drama pile up. The drama surrounding Meghan Markle isn't slowing down. If anything, it feels like every new business venture or media appearance creates a fresh headline filled with chaos. Take the bath salt fiasco. Meghan shared a DIY self-care recipe meant to inspire wellness and relaxation. Instead, one fan claims the mixture caused horrible burns, leaving her injured and ready to take legal action worth up to $10 million. Who would have guessed bath salts could turn into a courtroom thriller? It sounds like something out of a dark comedy, not a lifestyle brand launch. Then there's the never-ending brand identity crisis. Meghan first introduced her lifestyle label as American Riviera Orchard, which was supposed to feel luxurious and Californian. Except people immediately noticed the brand's logo looked almost identical to the coat of arms of a Spanish municipality. Lawyers reportedly raised eyebrows, and critics had a field day. Suddenly, the brand shifted and rebranded itself under the new name As Ever, but that move created even more legal concerns and confusion. A brand that hasn't even properly launched already has its second identity. Not exactly a confidence booster for consumers. Her business projects keep following the same pattern. Netflix gave her and Harry a huge partnership, but the shows either flopped or got canceled quietly. Spotify ended their deal, and one executive famously said Meghan didn't have enough passion to produce real content. Her jams sold out, but only because there were barely any jars. It's more scarcity theater than genuine demand. Meghan's empire looks polished on Instagram, but behind the scenes, it's like a leaky ship that can't stop attracting storms. Bill Maher looks at all this and sees comedy gold. He loves pointing out how Meghan can't stop tripping over her own branding attempts. Even everyday scandals become part of the narrative. One day it's trademark issues, the next day it's a lawsuit over bath additives. Everything turns into more material for Maher to turn into punchlines. Meghan wants to be taken seriously as a businesswoman, but the public sees someone who is constantly debuting another project only for it to become another tabloid disaster. Bill Maher's final verdict. Bill Maher wrapped up his takedown of Meghan Markle with one final unfiltered reality check. In his eyes, she loves attention way too much to thrive within the quiet dignity expected of a princess. At the same time, she works nowhere near hard enough to succeed as a true entrepreneur. Her public persona is built around complaints and victimhood, and Maher says no one buys that storyline anymore. He delivered a sharp but honest punch. Meghan wants applause and admiration without earning either. During one segment, Meghan talked about how exhausting and demanding her life has been. She insisted she works incredibly hard, juggling her brand, her children, and her content creation. Maher didn't hesitate to call nonsense. He told audiences that real hard work is waking up before sunrise and standing on your feet for 10 grueling hours in a factory or hospital or warehouse. Meanwhile, Meghan's definition of hard work includes professional nannies, personal assistants, chefs, glam squads, and someone else organizing her wardrobe. The audience exploded with laughter because it felt like someone finally said what everyone else was thinking. Maher criticized her constant contradictions too. She claims she escaped royal toxicity, but still signs products using her royal title. She demands privacy, yet schedules televised interviews regularly. She wants sympathy because the monarchy treated her poorly, yet she continues to use that very connection to stay relevant. She keeps saying she wants healing and reconciliation, but every interview adds another layer of blame toward the royal family. It's like she wants the benefits of the crown without any of the responsibility. His final verdict was brutal but fair. Maher said Meghan is always performing, always branding, always selling an image. He argued that the world doesn't hate her because she married a prince. They're tired because she refuses to stop playing the victim while enjoying a lifestyle most people can't even imagine. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.